You are not ready for what just hit the internet. Because what was supposed to expose LisaRaye has now completely flipped the script. And insiders are saying Nicole Murphy just made the biggest mistake of her life. Late last night, a set of alleged private messages surfaced online. At first, it looked like a calculated move. A quiet leak meant to paint LisaRaye in a certain light. The blogs picked it up instantly. T-pages went into overdrive. Headlines were forming within minutes. But here's where it gets crazy. Within hours, everything started unraveling. People began noticing inconsistencies. Timestamps didn't line up. Screenshots looked off. And then, out of nowhere, LisaRaye herself stepped in. Not with a denial, not with damage control, but with something way more explosive. His sources are now claiming that what Nicole Murphy thought would be a silent takedown has completely backfired and may have exposed something much bigger behind the scenes. We're talking alleged manipulation, hidden tensions going back years, and a response so calculated it has fans asking if LisaRaye has been waiting for this exact moment. And just when you think it can't get any messier, there's a second leak, a voice note. And if what insiders are saying is true, this changes everything. Because now the question isn't just who leaked what, it's who set who up. Stay with me, because what LisaRaye just did next, nobody saw it coming. To really understand why this situation is exploding the way it is right now, you have to go back. Because this isn't random drama. This is history. This is tension that's been simmering for years. And LisaRaye has always carried herself as someone who doesn't play when it comes to loyalty, respect, and especially betrayal. She's built a reputation not just in entertainment, but in the culture. Someone who speaks her mind, stands firm, and doesn't back down when challenged. Nicole Murphy, on the other hand, has lived in a completely different lane, but one that overlaps in very interesting ways. Known for her connections, her past high-profile relationships, and her presence in elite circles, she's no stranger to controversy either. And that's where things start to get complicated. Because behind the scenes, insiders have long hinted that there's been friction between these two. Quiet, unspoken, but very real. Some fans trace it back to overlapping social circles. Others point to past situations involving mutual acquaintances, events, and industry gatherings where things allegedly felt tense. Nothing ever blew up publicly. Until now. Over the years, both women have dealt with their own public controversies. LisaRaye has been vocal about trust issues, relationships, and how betrayal has shaped her decisions. Nicole Murphy has faced intense scrutiny over past headlines that questioned her judgment and actions in high-profile situations. But here's the key detail most people are just now connecting. Their paths didn't just cross once, they crossed multiple times. Same rooms, same events, same people. And according to insiders, there were moments where things almost spilled out before, but never quite did, until this alleged leak. Because when those screenshots hit social media, people immediately started digging. Old clips resurfaced, interviews were reanalyzed. Subtle comments that once seemed harmless suddenly looked like hidden shots. Fans started saying, wait, this didn't just start. And they're right. This has layers. There's also something else, something even more telling. LisaRaye has always been very intentional about when she speaks and when she stays silent. She doesn't jump into drama quickly. She watches, she waits. Which is why her response to this situation is what has everyone losing their minds. Because instead of reacting emotionally, she responded strategically. And now people are asking, was she prepared for this? Or did she know this was coming? Because if she did, that means this entire situation might not be what it seems. And just wait until you hear what allegedly happened behind closed doors the night before the leak dropped, because that's where things take a serious turn. So let's break down exactly what went down, because this is where everything starts to spiral. The alleged leak hit sometime late evening. A popular gossip page posted what appeared to be screenshots of private messages that seemed to show LisaRaye in a very unfiltered, very direct conversation. At first glance, it looked damaging. The tone, sharp, personal, suggestive of deeper issues. Within minutes, reposts started flooding timelines. Wow, is this real? LisaRaye said that? This is messy. But then things got weird. People started zooming in. One user pointed out that the font spacing didn't match standard messaging formats. Another noticed the timestamps skipped in a way that didn't make sense. And then someone dropped a comparison screenshot. And that's when the internet paused. Because suddenly, the leak didn't look so solid anymore. But before anyone could fully process that, LisaRaye entered the chat, not with a tweet, not with a vague post, but with what insiders are calling a controlled detonation. She posted a video. Calm, direct, no hesitation. And what she said shifted everything. She didn't just deny the messages, she claimed they were manipulated. Then, this is the part that shocked everyone. She hinted that she had already been warned something like this might happen. Let that sink in. Warned. According to her, someone had reached out days before suggesting that something messy was about to surface. She didn't name names. But the implication? Loud. And then came the first twist. A second set of screenshots surfaced, but this time, allegedly from someone close to the situation. These showed what looked like editing layers, cropped sections, rearranged message threads. If true, that means the original leak wasn't just messy, it was manufactured. Now the conversation flipped instantly. Instead of asking, did LisaRaye say this? People started asking, who made this? And that's when Nicole Murphy's name started trending. No confirmation, no direct accusation, but enough speculation to ignite a firestorm. And just when things couldn't get more chaotic, a voice note appeared, short, distorted, but clear enough to cause panic. And if insiders are right about who's speaking in that clip, this situation just crossed into a whole different level. Within hours, social media turned into a battlefield. Hashtags started trending, hashtag LisaRaye exposed, hashtag Nicole Murphy leak, hashtag fake receipts. Fan pages went into investigative mode. Threads broke down every second of the video response. TikTok creators analyzed lip movements, tone shifts, and background details like it was a crime scene. And then the celebrity reactions started. Subtle tweets, side-eye emojis, cryptic posts like, "Truth always finds a way out." Nobody said names, but everybody knew. Then came the second shocking revelation. A well-known insider blog dropped a bombshell claim. The leak may not have been intended for the public. Let that sink in. According to their sources, the screenshots were allegedly meant to circulate privately, to damage LisaRaye's reputation behind the scenes, not explode online. But something went wrong. They went public. And that's where everything backfired. Because once the internet got it, the inconsistencies couldn't be controlled. Now the narrative isn't just messy, it's dangerous. Because if someone did try to orchestrate this quietly, that means there's strategy behind it. And if there's strategy, there's motive. And if there's motive, there's more we haven't seen yet. And just when people thought all the cards were on the table. Another name started being mentioned, someone unexpected. Someone who may have had access to everything. And that is where this story takes an even darker turn. At this point, the story is everywhere. Major blogs picked it up. YouTube channels started breaking it down frame by frame. Twitter Spaces ran for hours with thousands of listeners debating every angle. Fans split into camps, or Team LisaRaye. This was clearly a setup. She handled that response like a pro. Team Nicole, there's more we're not seeing. Why would this even exist? And then there's the third group, the skeptics. This whole thing feels orchestrated. Both sides aren't telling everything. Memes flooded timelines. One viral post read, "Who leaked the leak that exposed the leak?" Even influencers jumped in, claiming they had sources close to the situation. But one quote stood out above everything else. "Be careful what you try to bury." Because sometimes it grows roots. Nobody confirmed who said it, but everyone felt it. Because now, this isn't just drama, it's a full-blown narrative war. And it's far from over. Just when it seemed like things might settle, another development dropped. A longer audio clip. Clearer, more direct, and allegedly. It contains a conversation about the leak before it happened. If that's true, then this wasn't reactionary. It was planned. But here's the twist nobody expected. The voice in the clip may not belong to who everyone thought, which means the entire narrative could flip again, because if the wrong person is being blamed, then the real architect is still in the shadows. And LisaRaye's calm response suddenly makes even more sense, because maybe she's not reacting, she's waiting. And if she's waiting, that means something bigger is coming. Now I need you to tell me because this situation is getting out of control. Who do you believe? Do you think LisaRaye was set up from the beginning? Or do you think there's truth hidden inside those leaks that we haven't fully uncovered yet? And what about Nicole Murphy? Was this a calculated move that backfired? Or is she being pulled into something bigger than she expected? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. I'm reading everything. And don't just go with the obvious answer. Look at the details, the timing, the reactions. Because in situations like this, the truth is never where it first appears. Also, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe because this story is still developing fast. There are more leaks being hinted at, more names possibly involved. And if that second audio gets fully confirmed, this entire situation could flip overnight. Trust me, you do not want to miss the next update, because something tells me this is only the beginning.